أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the glorious, the most merciful. And we're thankful to Almighty Allah who has guided us to the path of Islam. For surely, anybody that Allah guides, that is the person who is rightly guided. And whosoever he leaves astray will find absolutely no one to guide him aright. I bear testimony that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a messenger of Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide and guide all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enrich our hearts and guide us so that we remain believers to the last beatings of our hearts. Ameen. Today, inshallah, I'm going to make it a brief khutbah so that we can live early, kind of, sort of. And of course, for those of you who are in the United States and in those panicky areas of the world, you understand why. Now, today, I'm actually going to talk about 4S as the title of my khutbah. 4S. Now, the first S is superstition. And that is because today is February 13th. Now, I actually looked this up, and they actually have what they call parascavedacatraphobia. See, it's difficult to even pronounce. That tells you how much a difficulty it is to even think about this. But there are many people who believe that Friday the 13th is an unlucky day. Okay, that Friday the 13th. And today is a Friday the 13th. Albeit today is 2020, right? Now, this is nothing but superstition. Unfortunately, there are many people who believe in superstitions. And there may be different ones that people do base their lives and their desires and what they do based on some superstitions that are unfounded. Now, for us as believers, a Friday is always a good day. It's a great day. Friday is the day a lot of things will happen as we know, in life. And Friday is a day of celebration for the believers because it's the Yom of JUMMAH, the day of assembly, the day where we all gather together, the day we all meet each other, the day that you have the masajid being full, the day that you actually come together and then you have prayers together. And Friday is actually like Hajj for people who are unable to make the Hajj itself, which is like going for pilgrimage in Makkah and Medina, at specified times, which is during the Hijjah, of course, in the Hajj season. So, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because today is Friday the 13th. So that we consciously or subconsciously do not subscribe to this kind of superstitious beliefs. Friday the 13th or any Friday, whether it's Friday the 14th or Friday the 12th, a Friday is always a great day for the believers. And in Friday, there's actually a period which many scholars have opined that it's actually around the time of Asr, between Asr and Maghrib, that there's a special period on Friday that Allah accepts all your dua. And so, it is actually highly encouraged that you actually make dua a lot. Okay, so Fridays are great days. Do not, and I encourage myself to think about that, do not and never consider a Friday to be an unlucky day. because of some superstitious belief that may be going on in the environment. So that's the first S. The second S I want to talk about is sleep. Now today, March 13, 2020, is actually World Sleep Day. World Sleep Day. I know you say to yourself, how is this really relevant to us talking about Islam? Because all you always think about is when you come to JUMMAH, it's always being hammered on the head, this is Sunnah, this is Quran, this is Hadith. And why am I talking about all this superfluous everyday thing? It's because more often than not, we don't pay attention to the role of sleep in our lives. And anything that will promote your life is actually part of Islam. Because even Allah said in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, do not kill yourself. And lack of sleep will kill you. It will drain your head. It will cause so many problems for you. And even the motto for the World Sleep Day is better sleep, better life, and better planet. Okay? So better sleep, better life, and better planet. And for most of us here in the United States, we probably don't get enough sleep. And I, jokingly, which is also true, I've always said to myself in the last couple of years that my New Year resolution is to get more sleep. And I'm still working on it. Okay? Because healthy adults, it's recognized that healthy adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. 7 to 9 hours. Which means a third of the 24-hour period, you should try your best to actually sleep. And for those who have the opportunity of actually sleeping about 8 hours every night, it changes your life. It makes things a whole lot better for you. Because more often than not, when we stay late or we don't sleep early, we do so many other things that may be unhealthy. Some people to stay awake, they drink coffee upon coffee upon coffee, and then they start having palpitation. The heart can start beating fast. Okay? So you may have those who already, some have, because they think they want to study hard, and so they take things to keep them awake, and all they do is they don't concentrate on whatever they are reading, and you still fall asleep, and you don't read anything, but you are not refreshed when the morning comes. Especially for those of us who are students, and you don't pace yourself, you don't study during the regular hours until you have an exam coming the following day, and then you say, as we say it back home, today not today. That is, this is the day that I'm going to read a whole textbook. And then of course, that usually doesn't happen. And then you still don't get a good sleep, and then you go to the exam, and even things you know, now you can't even remember them because you didn't have adequate sleep. So this is an opportunity for us to remind ourselves about good sleeping habits. And some of us are so glued or wired or chained to our phones, okay, that when you are even on bed, there are even some phones they want you to download an app that's supposed to even let you sleep, and the app will have the negative effect of you being so concerned about sleeping on the app that you don't even get any sleep at all. I mean, what happened to the good old close your eyes and shut off the light? Okay? And some of us, we have all this technology, we are catching up on the latest news, the breaking news, and the news is always breaking. Okay? Something is always happening somewhere. After all, everybody don't sleep at the same time throughout the world. Okay? If it is 12 o'clock here, in another place it's 12 o'clock, but it's in the night. Okay, so there's always something going on all over the world. So, let us ensure that we have good sleeping patterns. And this actually has a very important part of our life. It impacts a very important aspect of our life. And that is waking up to pray to Allah. The earlier you sleep, the more likely you'll be able to wake up for tahajjud. And if you wake up for tahajjud, you'll be quietly in the presence of your Lord. At a time when others may be sleeping, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described those who are really close to Him. He said, "Kan qalila min al-layli ma yahjaun wa bil asharihim yastaghfirun." They sleep a little bit at night, and they lengthen their asking Allah for forgiveness. And you know what happens when Allah forgives you? Okay, Prophet Nuh alayhi salam told us about this in Surah Al-Nur. When he told his people what they should do. He said, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. That he told his people that make istighfar, ask Allah to forgive you your sins. For Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. He is the one that will forgive you. يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. And Allah will send rain of abundance to you. Allah will bless you. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ. Allah will increase your wealth. وَبَنِينَ, your children. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. And He will give you flowing water. And you can imagine how the importance of flowing water in an agrarian community where there are farmers and stuff like that. When you have a good irrigation system, where you have water that's going to irrigate your field for your livestock, for your plants and everything, which means life is going to be better. And this will come from you asking Allah for forgiveness. But the best time to ask Allah for forgiveness is not when you have committed a sin. Is to always remember Allah at all times and increasing what you do, because you commit sins all the time and we don't even know. So, but when you are now in the middle of the night, you are praying to Allah to forgive you your shortcomings, this is a very special moment. And it is incredibly difficult to wake up for tahajjud if you are somebody who doesn't sleep early. Okay? If you don't sleep early enough, you are less likely to be waking up for tahajjud. Especially now that the night is going to keep shrinking. So before it is finally shrunken, let us still improve what we do with our night. And that means, as we celebrate the World Sleep Day today, we should all improve in our sleeping patterns. Shoot to sleep for 8 hours a night. And that will be, as they say, better sleep, better life, and better planet for all of us. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله ولكم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. So as I said earlier, inshallah, today is the khutbah about 4S. So the first one, superstition, in terms of people who believe that Friday the 13th is an unlucky day. So we shouldn't be part of that. Second one is, today is World Sleep Day, which is the second S. We should improve in our sleep habits, in our sleep patterns. Okay, be somebody that you shut off your iPhone, whatever is it, iPad, TV, anything that will distract you, shut them off and try your best to get good sleep. The third thing is safety. Safety, and this is very important, especially that we know today in the United States and across many masajid, today actually they cancel JUMMAH services in many places. They cancel JUMMAH services because there are many jurisdictions that actually advise against more than 250 people are gathering together in the same place, or even 1,000 in some situations, even 50 in some situations. Okay, so that this is to reduce the pandemic of COVID-19 or coronavirus that we are all dealing with at this point in time. Now, this of course has tremendous impact. In some masajid, they cancel JUMMAH service period and encourage people to pray Zuhr at home and stuff like that. Or that in some situations, people will just pray Zuhr and then they are open for the 5 daily prayers. In some situations, they modify the schedule for the JUMMAH. Okay? In one of our area masajid, they actually changed the time of the Salat. They broke it into 4 slots instead of the usual 3 to reduce the number of people that will be coming. They didn't want young women and little children and older gentlemen to come to the masjid at all, so that those who are more susceptible in terms of age, and the fact that JUMMAH is not really compulsory for women. So they used all those to reduce the number of people that will come for JUMMAH today. Now, some of these are drastic measures to address a crisis. So if you are in one of those communities, there's no need to get angry or to panic or to be thinking that people don't have enough iman. That's why some of these activities are being undertaken. This has nothing to do with that, because remember, the first principle is to preservation of lives. So some of these things may be out of abundance of caution, and that is okay. In fact, on my way to this JUMMAH, because we have the AMJA, the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America, we also have a conference next week, actually, in Chicago. And I was wondering what exactly is going to happen with it. And so on my way, I opened my phone and I saw they've sent an email out canceling the event, rescheduling it to September. And because I'm on the list server also, I received, in terms of the new, because they put out a fatwa on the 3rd of March, by a week ago, but the situation of coronavirus is evolving rapidly, that they actually have a new one that just came out. Just a few minutes on my way here, in which they actually address the issue of JUMMAH services and all that things. So I'm going to just read some of it to you, and you can always get more, inshallah, if you go to AMJA online. It's spelled AMJA, AMJA online dot, let me see, I think it's .org. So what you have, so AMJA declaration regarding suspension of Friday prayer. In the name of Allah, most beneficent, most merciful. The Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America received several inquiries regarding the COVID-19 outbreak and the closure of the masjids and suspension of JUMMAH prayer in compliance with the instruction of the local government and health authorities to ban large public gatherings of more than 250, 100, or even 50 or less. AMJA promptly contracted an esteemed group of physicians and professors with specialty in infectious diseases and public health. They affirmed the information received by AMJA from the local communities and stressed the seriousness of the situation and the necessity to contain the disease. Based on the guidance received from the experts and in accordance with AMJA's previous fatwa, to follow the updates from local public health authorities and comply with their instructions, AMJA issued the following statement. Number one, first, whenever the authorities demand the temporary closure of the houses of worship, this constitutes an excuse allowing its closure. Okay? Meaning there is no reason to be fighting the local government when they, in their best of judgment, given a crisis of epidemic of infection being spread, if they demand that some, public, gatherings should not hold for public health reasons, you should comply. Second, whenever the public health authorities advise against public gatherings and encourage a strict limitation because of its real risk, Muslims should comply with their instruction and cancel the public gathering for this Friday sermon and should call upon people to pray in their places, as the Messenger of Allah said concerning what is much less harmful than this. Al-Mardawi said in Al-Insaf, sickness is an excuse to miss JUMMAH without controversy, and so is the fear of sickness. Okay? However, whenever possible, Muslims should establish the JUMMAH, maintain the dhikr of Allah in their masjid, and avoid their complete abandonment. Okay? So, this can be done by a very small number of people, to be determined by the management of the masjid after consulting with the experts, as long as it is not less than a quorum for JUMMAH. Let us remember that the one who called for people to pray the JUMMAH at their respective places prayed it at the masjid. Okay? So you can read more about things that were suggested, but the bottom line is that the ongoing crisis that we have with coronavirus is evolving. Okay? It's evolving. And some decisions need to be made by those in charge of us. Okay? Either in your local masajid or the public health authorities in our states, whatever decision that is being made, this is in public interest and we should do our best to comply. Now the fourth S that I mentioned that I was going to talk today is Sunnah. Is Sunnah. Now Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, more often than not we don't pay attention to them, and sometimes it's when we have crisis that we then pay more attention to Sunnah. In the last few days, there has been a whole lot of emphasis on hand washing. Hand washing. I mean, anywhere you go is hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. But to wash your hand has always been part of Sunnah that many of us really don't pay attention to. A very common Sunnah that we often neglect is washing your hand before you eat. And I kid you not, most of us don't wash our hands before you eat. Except for those who actually eat with their hands. Okay? And some will even tell you they don't see any reason why they should wash their hands when they are going to use fork or spoon. But what they don't realize is the bad guy who is using the fork and spoon to eat, and then eventually gets tired of eating the chicken, right? What does he do? He picks it up. He picks it up. So the Sunnah is actually to wash your hand before you eat and wash your hands after you finish eating. Because that's where he said the barakah, the blessings of the food, lies in you doing the Sunnah part of it. Apart from so many other things that the Prophet encouraged us to. Cleaning yourself with water, okay? It's part of what you should do, hygiene. But this is also part of Sunnah. It's when you don't find water, that then you use paper and stuff like that, or stone and things like that. Cleaning yourself with water. And of course, washing your hands when you use the restroom. Yes, we'll still say, oh, these are commonsensical things. But not only are they commonsensical, but they are also part of the Sunnah. And you know, when you obey the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because of your iman, because you said, oh, Allah said we should obey the Prophet, you are going to be rewarded for these acts. Okay, everywhere you go now, hand sanitizers are flying off the shelf. And when the government of Maryland announced closing the school for 2 weeks, everybody attacked the grocery stores. You know, they bought everything off the shelf. It's as if they are expecting a hurricane or something like that. So we react in panic mode to so many things. But there are some things that are already there. But it's by the mercy of Allah in our religion to actually protect us, which we often don't pay attention to. Hand washing is something that's always good, regardless of whether there's COVID-19 or COVID-21. It does not matter. Washing your hands and practicing safe hygiene is always recommended. Things like sneezing into your hand. There's no time that is a good act to sneeze into your hand. Okay? It has nothing to do with COVID-19. Just don't sneeze into your hand. You should get yourself a handkerchief. You can have tissue. And if push comes to shove, sneeze into your elbow or something like that. Never sneeze to your hand because that's what you shake people's hands with. And with this crisis now, many people don't even shake hands anymore. They say they wave salam to you now. You know, salam alaikum. You know, they don't touch you. And people even shake them with their legs now these days. You know. So some of these things, we are in crisis mode. When people do that to you, this is me making a passionate, personal appeal to you. Don't get offended. Because there's a tendency to want to shake somebody's hand and then they put their hands together and be like, what's wrong with this guy? I didn't tell you I have coronavirus. Now what's your problem? You know? Or we're in the masjid and they say salam alaikum and the guy is trying to pull back, but you want to hold him. Like, you know, if that happens, just try your best to recognize that it is the crisis of the situation, is the situation that we are in, and try your best not to get offended. Because we are human beings and there are certain level of touchy feeling we get when we expect something and it's not, you know, being reciprocated in the way we feel that it should be. But understand that this is a crisis situation. Of course, some people are extra panicking, and some people are still, you know, calm down. I mean, this is okay. Inshallah, we'll get through this. But people are, we're gonna die. You know, so you have very people with different level of anxiety regarding what is going on. But it's an appeal to all of us. Remain calm, trust in Allah, and do the best you can. Okay? Avoid things that you can avoid. But when push comes to shove, just understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not created any disease except that He has created a cure for it. Except one. And that is old age. Okay? It's not COVID-19. It is old age. Old age is the only disease, okay, that is part of life that there is no cure for it. There's none. If you live long enough, you will become old. Okay? Apart from that, there's no disease except that Allah has created a cure for it. So, including COVID-19. So, this is a phase in our lives. This is a crisis we are all experiencing. But inshallah, just as the way it has come, inshallah it will pass. But we need to remain steadfast. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا